Now, let's look at the cool stuff, all right? Because the cool stuff is on the walls, and you will see my wall of fame of jerseys, okay? And each jersey has a story. There's a few that aren't here, but let's go through the ones that are here. We can start over here. The great Barry Sanders. You Detroit Lion fans will be very excited to see an authentic Sanders jersey. It says, "Hey John, great song." Barry Sanders. Barry actually used Superman when he went into the Hall of Fame as one of his songs that was played. And I was very stoked. And that starts us off on our tour. On the other side of the window, another Hall of Fame NFLer. Now I gotta qualify this. This guy was a USC Trojan, but he's the only USC Trojan I've ever loved, being a UCLA guy. Ronnie Lott is up there. Ronnie Lott does a lot of great charity work. We did an event with Augie's Quest, those of you who know me, and Augie Nieto and the whole ALS quest. Ronnie was part of that, and he gave me a jersey, so my only Trojan on the wall. Of course, next to the Ronnie Lott jersey, of course, the Five for Fighting LA Kings jersey. What can you say? The Kings won the Stanley Cup 2 years ago. For those of you who do know me, I write for the Kings. I do a lot with them. They made me my own little Five for Fighting jersey, which is very cool. And I wear it to every playoff game. Five for Fighting, right? You know where that came from. You know where that came from. Next to that is a very cool jersey. This jersey here was made for me by West Point. West Point actually has a hockey team, the Army hockey team, and they made me that jersey. I've played West Point. I love our troops. I'm honored to play many shows across the country, around the world with the USO for our troops. I've been to West Point a number of times, and they have a great coach there, a great guy who supports us, and he made me that very cool U.S. Army hockey jersey. Now next to that is a Dragons jersey. I have no idea where that's from. I just think it's cool. I probably have 200 jerseys people have given me in my closet. I just thought the Dragons was cool. Maybe it's a Game of Thrones thing. I don't know. Over here we have LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, when he was playing for the Jets. You Jets fans, I know you're suffering. I'm sorry. But I was honored to play the 10th anniversary of 9/11 at Jets Stadium, the halftime show. I sat at a piano on the 50-yard line and played Superman, and it was a very moving moment for me. And they gave me the LT jersey. My mom wanted a Sanchez jersey, but they sent me that one. So, sorry Mom. She's a Trojan. So this jersey over here, this last one, is probably the one that's most important to me. If you can see, it's Pat Tillman jersey. Those of you know Pat Tillman was killed fighting for our country. When he died and they paid tribute to him in Arizona, 100 Years was played at that ceremony, and I was able to talk to some of the folks that knew him and loved him, and a truly great American, such a sad story. So it's kind of a sad jersey, but one I'm very proud to hang in my studio.